Good morning, YouTube. Death by Amy. Look at the state of me now. God. It's one of those things, to get your body like stage lean, obviously you've got to get all the fat off. So now at that point where we're pretty much there, but in real life, if you were to see me, you'd probably think that girl looks a bit ill. Anyway, we are 9 days out. I have done some work this morning and I've just got a little gap between clients, so I've just come for coffee and just a little chill. Yesterday was probably the hardest day that I have felt. Like, I just felt physically drained, mentally drained, carrying my legs felt hard, actually felt a little bit faint at times. And this is part of, unfortunately, prep, and it's, why it is an extreme sport. And I'm not moaning, I'm just, feeding back to you exactly how I felt in the final stages now, kind of what comes with it. But actually, something that I did yesterday was a rest day. So I got up and did my cardio, which is still 40 minutes on the stairs on a training day, 50 minutes on the stairs on a rest day. I did some clients and then I went home and I actually had a bath, got into my pajamas and I just slept. Like, I put a film on, and like, for me, I never do that because I'm like, I need to be doing stuff, I need to be working, I need to keep busy. And actually I just gave my body like the rest that it needed. And then I did my steps later on in the evening, but I really just said to myself, just chill out, it's a rest day. And actually I've woken up this morning a kilo lighter than I was yesterday, so clearly my body appreciated it. I still ticked the boxes of what I needed to do. I still ate very low food. Food hasn't changed since the last YouTube, so food is still really, really low. Carbs are really low. I think the day I get carbs, I don't know whether I'm going to cry with excitement or what's going to happen, how my body's gonna feel. But I know it's not long now. The coach, she is really pleased. She said it's not much longer. Peak week obviously starts this Sunday. It's Thursday today, so in theory we're probably going to just keep rolling low days now until it's ready to carb up, which it will be hard. It definitely is testing me, but I'm so excited. Like, I'm just, I can't actually wait now. My bikini came this week, absolutely love it. I feel like everything has worked out perfectly. It's just this final little push now for me to get myself ready. So plan of action today, what I thought I would do is take you through a little bit of today, but what I probably am going to look to do a bit later on is just sit down and just talk to you about my starting position. So maybe where my weight was at the start, what my food was at the start, what my cardio was at the start, into comparison to what it's like now. And just talk you through sort of the journey and maybe my experiences with it. Because next week will obviously be peak week for the show. So I'm just going to sit now, have a coffee, try and just stay as relaxed as I can. I do feel so much better today, and I slept really, really well last night. Like, don't feel like I really woke up very much, which is nice, because lately I've been finding that I've been waking up every hour and like looking at the clock like, is it time to get up yet? And that's not a good feeling to be having. So I'm gonna sit now, chill. Then I've got a client, then I've got to train legs, and it's about being sensible with my training now. Like, I don't want to get any injuries, I don't want to be going in there and absolutely obliterating my body, but equally I want to go in there and still have a good workout. So that will be the plan of action for today, and then I'll just pick you back up later and give you a little down low of the prep so far. And we're back. So I have done my PT and I've just trained, and oh my god, it's like, in one hand is frustrating because I'm like, the want to train hard, the want to feel strong, the want to enjoy the final few days of prep is there, but the energy isn't. Like, let's be real, my body doesn't want to be this lean anymore. And therefore, like, it's trying to conserve energy. So I start my training session and I feel okay, and then I can just feel my body as I'm training, you know, feels weak. I'm wanting to sit down in between sets, which for me, I don't ever do that. You know, and that's just my body saying I've had enough. So it's getting frustrating now, but it is what it is. I probably sound like I'm moaning, but I just want to give you an honest review on what it's like, and that actually, if you're somebody that's looking at like a bodybuilder and being like, oh my god, I'd love to look like them, you do not need to get on stage or get to this level of leanness to, you know, achieve something that you want. Because for me, probably what I looked like probably 4 or 5 weeks ago was where I probably felt most comfortable, in the sense that I still felt like training felt good. I wasn't struggling with energy. You know, my training sessions wasn't becoming tiresome. But it's that final little look that you get for you know, to be stage ready. So I am real that once I do the show, depending on what happens after the show, you know, I will be bringing my calories up to a point where I feel better, I've got more energy, and you know, I will put on a bit of body fat in comparison to what I am now. So yeah, that's kind of how I'm feeling as the day has gone on. And I think what doesn't help is on a rest day is 0 carbs, which was yesterday. So in theory, I've not had, and then I only get a little bit of potatoes and a little bit of raspberries post-workout. So in theory, I haven't had that since Tuesday afternoon. So I've had that Tuesday afternoon, which would have gone in and literally my body would have used that probably in about 10 minutes. Then no carbs yesterday, and then chicken salad for pre-workout. Plus I've done cardio this morning, and I've already done 9,000 of my steps. So actually, I'm going to give myself a bit of credit. No wonder why I'm feeling bloody tired and bloody knackered. So what I wanted to do with this episode was just maybe give you a little bit of a breakdown on what's happened. So we're on week 16 of prep. So my prep's going to be 17 weeks long in the end. So just, yeah, about 16 weeks. I started at 64 kilos. I'm 5'3". I started at 64 kilos. What I'll do is I'll insert some photos so that you can see what I looked like at the start. And again, I wasn't overweight. I stayed relatively lean in my off season. And for me, that's a personal thing. I prefer to find, you know, a good amount of food that I feel strong on, that I can continue to make progress on. But for me, just a steady increase with the scales and with my body fat mentally is much better for me. Some people are more than happy to, you know, accept that they're going to get bigger in their off season. But I then just don't enjoy my off season as much. So for me, yes, my starting pictures, I'm not overweight or anything like that. But obviously, to get stage ready, I've had to work really hard to get to where I am now. So starting weight was 64, and we're currently now sitting at 51.5. So that is, you know, quite a big difference in 16 weeks. Food started approximately about 2,800 calories per day, which, you know, for me, it was a really, really good amount of food. It was all foods that I enjoyed, all foods that I could digest well. I didn't tend to have off-plan meals, but what I would do is if I wanted to factor in a meal, I knew my macros, I knew my calories, and I was able to, you know, work my day around it so that I could have some food. That's not to say off-plan meals aren't good, but for me, I felt like I was on a good enough amount of food that I didn't necessarily need to have a day like that per week. Food approximately now is about 1,000 calories, which is low, and like I said, 0 carbs on rest days and only 30 grams of carbs on a training day. Protein has stayed the same, so the drop in calories has basically been carbs and fats. Protein has stayed the same around 175. Steps started at 7,000, and they went up to 11,000 probably within the first month, and they haven't actually changed. So we've actually just manipulated food and cardio rather than steps, which has been different to previous preps. My steps have gone up to things like 16,000, but actually haven't played around with the steps. Cardio, it started at nothing, so I was just doing steps as cardio, which actually I wasn't having to actively do anything. My job would allow me to do 7,000 steps easy, and it gradually went up. So it started with, we added cardio post-workout a little bit. Then when that got to about 15 minutes post-workout, we started to add in some fasted cardio in the mornings, and then they just progressively went up. I think the maximum I was doing was an hour and 20 minutes a day, split between fasted and post-workout. That reached a peak, and then it started to come back down, and I'm currently doing 50 minutes a day. So I do, on a training day, I do 40 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes after weights, and then on a rest day I do 50 minutes. And I have used the stairs, the Stairmaster. I do find it's really good for my heart rate. I do find that I can really feel my glutes, I can really feel my legs when I'm doing it, and obviously for wellness we want to, you know, have a dominant lower body, so I have found it that it works for me. But I know for some people they find it's just really tiring, it maybe depletes them, maybe they find it really, really boring, but for me that was what I have used for my cardio. Weights have stayed the same, so it's been 5 times a week, 3 legs, 2 upper sessions. And I've looked at, you know, so food is basically, like I said, it started high and it's progressively come down, and during that time I've had 3 refeeds during that 16-week period, and the refeeds have been over 2 days, on a training day and a rest day, and the carbs have approximately gone up to 250. That's what we've basically increased when we've done the refeeds. We haven't increased protein or increased fats, we've just increased the carbs and approximately taken it up to about between 250 and 300, and I've had 3 sort of stints of those, and then there's been 3 stints where we've pulled cardio out for like a day or 2. So actually, when you think about it, for 16 weeks I've had to stick to my diet, I've had to do cardio pretty much every day, apart from those 3 times where we took it away. The structured refeeds, haven't missed a training session. I've hit my steps, and that's been relentless for 16 weeks. So I think for somebody who coming into, you know, or maybe just say you're looking to lose weight, I think it's really important that you're realistic with your goals. Like, think how much work I've just had to put in for 16 weeks, and then look at the comparison of the 2 photos, and then you get some people in life, and I was probably like this not when I got into bodybuilding, but when I first did a diet, I was like, oh yeah, I want to look like that in 8 weeks, and I think you don't actually realise what you actually have to do. And I think that's what's worth you doing, is evaluating how much sacrifice you want to get in comparison to your time frame. You know, if you're somebody that actually thinks, do you know what, I'm willing to give up, like I haven't had any meals out, every single thing has had to be weighed, I haven't missed any training sessions even if I've felt unwell, everything has been ticked regardless of whether my mind has said no or yes to it. And yes, that's the results that I've got in 4 months. You get some people that want results in 4 months or even shorter, but if I was to say, right, that's what you've got to do, they'd be like, no, I'm not doing that. And that's absolutely fine, but then you just need to give yourself a longer period. You just need to think, well, actually, I would rather find a plan, a path that's more sustainable, that maybe factors in being able to have a meal out every week, factors in not having to do an hour and 20 minutes of cardio every single day. I'm not having to run food super, super low all the time. And you just need to be realistic and evaluate what you want to do. And I think that is the difference between bodybuilding, getting ready for a show, and maybe getting lean but in a lifestyle way. And that's why I kind of wanted to document this series, so you can kind of see what it's like, you know, how hard it is, and that actually you don't need to do that. You know, if I wasn't doing a show and I was just, say, doing a diet, I probably wouldn't be, you know, there would probably have been times where I probably wouldn't, you know, I would have had factored in a meal. You know, my social life to a degree has had to revolve around training. So like training with my friends, hanging out with my friends that doesn't involve food. You know, that's quite a difficult one, because I think food and drink is so big, but I've got such a great circle of friends around me who fully get my goals, like fully support it. And we do things that, you know, we go for walks, we go for coffee, you know, we train together. I'm in a really good place where my family understand what I'm going through, so it's not a stress. But I've had to get there. Like, there were times where my friends didn't get it. Not give me a hard time, because I think for some people they just don't understand. Like, they just probably think you're absolutely mad that you're willing to sacrifice that. But I think I've done this for so long now that it's probably very normal for my friends and my family to see me like this. If I was to just turn up and, you know, eat what I wanted and was like, oh yeah, I'm not training, all of that, I think they'd probably be like, Amy, are you okay? So I would just say from experience, if you want to achieve something, then you have to practice what you preach, and you have to be realistic with what you want to do. So that's kind of, yeah, a little bit of an insight into the last 16 weeks. I don't know the plan for peak week yet. So if you don't know what a peak week is, essentially you're peaking your body to get ready for the show. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to document that. So I'm going to show you, I don't know what I'm doing, so it will be all in control of my coach will tell me. But there will be changes to the food. You manipulate your food. There'll be times when you'll eat no carbs. There'll be times, which I'm already doing now, but there'll be times when you'll eat more carbs. There'll be times when you drink more water. There'll be times when you don't drink much water. So again, I'm going to document that so you can see. But I wanted to just, you know, and also just for myself, just go, it's been quite interesting just writing that down and seeing like, oh my God, actually, I've lost quite a lot of weight. And I've worked bloody hard. So I'm going to have my post-workout meal now. Very exciting. And I'm actually going, my friend has a hot tub, like rented a hot tub. So I'm going to get a bit of work, have my post-workout, get a bit of work done. It's really, really nice weather here at the moment. And I'm going to go and sit in the hot tub. And I think that will actually, yesterday, I didn't, on my rest day, normally I'm like busy, I'm doing loads of stuff. But yesterday I took the time to really just not do a lot. And actually I dropped 1 kilo in weight and I felt so much better for it. So I think I need to realise now that when I'm not at the gym trying to train as hard as I can, or I'm not doing my cardio, I'm not doing my steps, I need to be chilling. So I think going in the hot tub, chilling out is exactly what my body is going to need right now. So not sure whether I'm going to take the camera with me or whether I'm just going to pick you up later when I get back. And like that, it's the evening. So I just thought I'd bring you on my steps. It's the time, it's coming up for 7:30 now. I've just got back. I was like, do you know what? Put the dinner on, get my last bit of steps done so that I can chill out. That was actually really nice. I did some work, then headed over to my friends and we just sat in the hot tub. It's a really lovely day here today. Just chilled, had a Pepsi Max with lime. If you haven't tried that one, that was lovely. And yeah, all in all, tiring this morning. Seems to be that my energy is the worst. Like, I do my cardio in the morning, then I do my clients, and then I train. And actually I'm think now, being tactical, it's probably wise for me to go home for a bit, recruit some energy, and then maybe go back in the evening and train, or go back late afternoon. I think just moving forward, that's going to be my plan. Just based on like how my energy levels are and how I seem to, like, I feel like I've picked up energy again. But it seems to be that my body, anything that needs energy, my body's just like, no, Amy, I really don't want to do this. But anything that I'm doing chilling, I seem to feel quite good. So I think I just need to recognise that now. And, you know, tomorrow we're going to be 8 days out. So I feel like this vlog's probably been a bit shit. If I'm being honest, there's not a lot, you know, not a lot that's going on. Food hasn't really changed. I'm just grinding every day. It is a struggle at times. But peak week next week, I think what I might do is condense a few days into one vlog and see if I can get it out maybe a little bit earlier than Sunday, just so you can see a bit of an insight into what goes on during peak week. Obviously, I don't know. Checking in with my coach every day now. So I think with peak week, you'll check in every morning, and based on that, we'll probably make changes. I am now having to track how much water I have and how much salt I have on my food, because that is something that you do manipulate during peak week. So I think we've started to just factor that in now and just get some consistency on it. And it was interesting actually, because I know I drink a lot of water, but when I tracked it yesterday, I was having nearly 7 litres, which is quite a lot. So I'm going to drop that to 6 and then just be consistent with my salt. But yeah, that's it. Another day done on prep. So I'm going to go in and eat my food now. God, look at my face. And I'll probably just pick you up just before I head to bed. So when I got in, I cooked my dinner and I sat down and I chilled, and I completely forgot to end the vlog. So we are now on Friday, and I got up this morning, I'm not gonna lie, I drove to cardio and I was like dreading doing the stairs. I was like, my body feels knackered. I could have just not necessarily stayed at home and stayed in bed, but I think I could have just stayed at home and just sat there. Like, I could just tell that my body was not feeling it. Anyway, we went, we got it done, we ticked the boxes. But actually, when I checked in with my coach today, she has told me to rest today, low steps today, and has sent me the structure for training leading into the show now. So the volume has decreased for my sessions, and it's going to be like a training day, a rest day, a training day, a rest day, right into the show now. My last leg day is going to be on Monday. So I normally train legs on a Sunday, but obviously now we're going to do, so I'm resting today, train tomorrow, rest Sunday, train on Monday, which is my last leg day, because obviously you need to, there'll be inflammation when you train. So you need to obviously allow the inflammation to come down. I do find that legs are the more taxing session, so I feel that my body like is fighting me back a bit more when I'm doing legs now as opposed to upper body. So I think that's probably the right move. So yeah, obviously I did my cardio this morning, so I won't need to do much more today, and I work from home on a Friday. So I'm just going to go through all my check-ins. I've got quite a busy day with the team checking in today. So I can just sit, I can go through all of that. I'm going to have a bath. I'm at that point now where every other day I'm having to scrub. So when you have to get your body ready for show day, you have to really sort of prepare the skin, because otherwise the tan doesn't go on as well, and it doesn't look as good, and it doesn't hold. So you have to exfoliate, which the recommendation is sort of every other day, I suppose, leading into the show for the last couple of weeks, and moisturize. So I have already started doing that. So I'm gonna have a bath today, prep my skin, just chill out, probably have a nap a bit later on, and maybe just have a really quiet evening. Food hasn't changed yet, so we still are on low food. Obviously there's going to be more rest days, which means they're going to be even more low days, but we need to deplete the body probably even more than what it feels like at the moment, because then we should have a better response going into the show. Well, fingers crossed anyway. So So yeah, I didn't obviously finish the vlog last night for you guys. I feel like my brain, obviously carbs provide the body of energy, but they also provide the brain with energy, and I just feel really like forgetful and really slow and stuff now. So I literally went to bed and I was like, oh, you didn't even pick the camera up again. But anyway, this is me now, you know. You can see I'm tired. Still got cardio hair, no makeup on. But this is what it's like. So yeah, I'm gonna leave this vlog here just because today's not really gonna be very exciting. It's just gonna be me putting my feet up, working and resting. But I am actually really looking forward to just doing that now. And then what I will do, hopefully over the weekend, I should get my peak week protocol. So it will be subject to change because I still check in every day. So she'll give me a rough plan, but that's not to say that every day that plan could change, that the plan could not be the plan. But it's nice to have a plan, just like a bit of an idea to know what's going on. So I think then what I'll do next week is maybe film a little bit of each day of peak week, and then put it into one before show day. But thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting. Hopefully this hasn't been too boring for you, or maybe some of you are watching thinking, God, would I actually want to do that? Would I actually want to put myself through that? But actually, if you think about it, if you look back over the last 10 weeks, it's probably only in the last 2 episodes that I've started to struggle. Up to this point, I've actually really loved it. Loved everything about it. And, you know, can't wait to get on stage. So yeah, thank you so much. Please like and subscribe because it does help. It just gives maybe people that don't necessarily know me the opportunity to find the YouTube and just watch the series. I've tried to keep it as informative as I can. And if you've got obviously any more questions, there was a question. I had a couple of people ask me about the costs and stuff, but I think I'm going to do that after show. So like after I've competed, break down like the costs of what it is to compete, because I do think that's quite a big eye-opener for people that are maybe thinking about doing it and maybe don't know how actually expensive it is. It's probably going to be a shock for me when I add it all up as well. All right, but have a good one, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peak week!